So the U.S. plan was, we'll arm Ukraine enough that it will become a fait accompli, that Ukraine will become a NATO country and a European Union country, and Russia won't be able to do anything about it. So I think they really believed, what can Russia do? You know, it's a backwater, it's weak. We don't believe Putin's threats. If he actually does something, we'll sanction the economy to death. So they were playing a game of chicken, and Putin called their bluff and invaded in February after the U.S. refused to negotiate anything. And interestingly, almost days after, Zelensky said, oh, we should negotiate. And the Russians and the Ukrainians actually sat down and negotiated in Ankara and almost reached an agreement. And then the United States intervened, said, you don't have to reach an agreement. We're going to crush Russia. And you're going to do it for us, Ukraine. You're going to be heroes. You're going to defeat Russia with our wonderful weapons and our economic sanctions. And of course, this was an illusion, typical American arrogance, because Putin mobilized in the middle of 2022. And also, Russia was a far more capable military and far more capable arms manufacturer than the United States allowed, and technologically much more sophisticated than they imagined, with very smart guided missiles and a lot of advanced digital technologies. And so Putin escalated. And now we can see, we don't know the outcome of this, but of course, Ukraine is being bloodied tragically. Probably, you know, it's said 40,000 dead in the last 2 months. I don't know whether those estimates are accurate or not, but you can see the West doesn't care at all about the loss of life in Ukraine. It just says, here, have some more weapons and go to it. Keep going. And no matter how big the bloodshed, the U.S. view is, well, they're the ones dying. We're not dying. It's our weapons. And we're selling a lot, and our companies like it. So this is a bluff that was called, a kind of game of chicken, and Russia showed that it could keep escalating, and the West has no plan because it thought it could get away with things. Going back to February 2014, the idea was, we'll put in a new government and Ukraine will join the West. That's it. And then Putin grabbed Crimea, as he had threatened to do. Oh, that's a surprise. And then the Minsk. Oh, that's a surprise. So the West keeps getting surprised. And Biden has been there all along, playing an important role in this. And I think he's just a very bad strategist. And he's put Ukraine into a terrible, terrible disaster. And my expression at the beginning of this war was that the U.S. is going to make Ukraine into a European Afghanistan, because the U.S. wrecked Afghanistan for 40 years, destroyed that country mercilessly, cynically, ignorantly, brutally. And they're going to do the same with Ukraine unless the Ukrainians wake up and say, God, we're being killed by this approach, which is what they should have woken up about a long time ago.